joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimping and get you right. Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route. And working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch. That's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hold hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. One of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. The game is here. What's happening? Top of it. Hey, we good. We good. Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp, man. Y'all already know. First order of business when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Wipe your feet off at the door. Y'all already know my first order of business, man. Pimp got to put some of this good old love juice in his body. This H to the Izzo. Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling fantastic, man. Blessed. Counting plenty of blessings. Ain't never got enough time to count all the blessings because the blessings are, in the words of Sinful to P, innumerable. You dig? But yeah, man. Hold on. Let me get my shit right real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to touch on this love topic in regards to the game because a lot of people got a misconception about love and a lot of people got a misconception about this game. Even people that's in the game, right? And, you know, it's unfortunate because a lot of young ladies in the game have a misconception and a misunderstanding about the game when it comes to love. You know, they think that love is exclusive to squares. They think that love ain't something that you can have in the game. Hold on. Okay, I didn't know I could do that. But now I know. Is that the right? Okay. Mr. Reed, good looking with the $10 holla. Glory to the game. Yes, indeed. Hold on just a second. Forgot to do something else right quick. Let me do something real quick. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. All right, cool. But yeah, man, you know, it's a lot of young ladies in the game that are confused because of the way they come into the game and who they get introduced to the game by. See, it's a lot of chicks that get introduced to the game by bitter renegades, right? And, you know, of course, a renegade that's anti-pimping, they got a bad taste in her mouth for really the game in general. She just in the game because, you know, it's for lack of a better option. You know, she ain't got nothing else better to do with her life, so she resort to the game as a last resort. So she in the game, been in the game for years, ain't never had no love inside or outside of the game, so she don't even really know what love is. She think love is like unicorns and leprechauns and shit like that. Tooth fairy, Easter bunny type shit when it come to love. She think love is some fairy tale fantasy fallacy shit. But so you got a lot of young chicks in the game, especially in today's times. See, that's another big misunderstanding about the game too. A lot of people think that the majority of the girls that's in the game active right now got introduced to the game by some pimping or even some simping disguised as pimping. But the truth of the matter is the majority of the chicks that's in the game right now got introduced to the game by a renegade, by somebody that's anti-pimping. And some of those girls, very small few of those girls, just so happen to stumble across some pimping and get blessed in that way. Then a slightly bigger percentage of chicks in the game like that, you know, come across a guy that proclaims himself as a pimp but ain't really the pimping. You know, he's a lame disguised as game. And, you know, he's of course, by him not really being the pimping, you know, her introduction to, you know, a man in the game is going to be flawed, right? So this is how the majority of the chicks come into the game, and this is what the majority of chicks experience is gonna be in the game, right? And like I say, it's unfortunate because it's a needle in a haystack mission to come across some real pimping. See, when a hoe that has an eye, an ear, and a mind for some pimping, when she come across some pimping, she might not even have ever come across some pimping. It's gonna have a different type of effect on her, right? Like me myself, I've turned hoes out that never caught a date before. I've turned hoes out who have caught a few dates before, been lingering in the game, because those are considered turnouts too. To me, a turnout is a chick that gets properly introduced to the game by some pimping. So you got chicks that been in the game catching dates for a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes even 5 years. They still, they was turned on, but they was never turned out. Then after those, that little short time frame, they might come across some pimping and get properly turned out to the game, right? So, me myself, like I said, I've turned out young ladies like that, and I've turned out chicks that was totally fresh to the game, that didn't even have any clue about this shit, right? And one thing they all have in common, they it's a different type of effect on them when they come across some pimping, as opposed to them type of chicks that, they got a chip on their shoulder, they got a bitter taste in their mouth, and the perfect gentleman could come across their path and they ain't gonna be able to appreciate it because of the bitterness in their heart, right? The perfect blessing, the perfect gentleman could come across their path and they still ain't gonna be able to identify, recognize it, let alone appreciate it, right? So what I'm saying is, to them chicks that's receptive to a broader perspective, to be highly collective with some ism, that shit hit them totally different, right? So those are the ones who have some hope for receiving some love in the game, and the thing about it is, it's a major big love in the game. And when I just think about, especially during my generation in time, and ahead of those ahead of me, hey man, I haven't seen more love than the type of love that I see between pimps and hoes in the game, right? When I think about the squares my age and younger who have been in relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, or who have been married, I know a few, very small few, that are working out healthy. You know what I mean? It's a couple of marriages in my family, and I got a big ass family, but it's a couple of marriages in my family that's, healthy and cool, that's my age or younger. And then, the boyfriend, girlfriend shit, a lot of that shit don't be working out. You know what I mean? But it's a certain type of bond. It's a certain type of camaraderie that come between pimps and hoes when they come into the game, when they enter the game, right? Because if you pay attention to a lot of the square shit going on, you listen to these dating coaches and shit like that. You listen to these female, I don't know if they call themselves dating coaches, but these females that call themselves guiding women in dealing with relationships with men. Then these, dating coaches or gurus or whatever they call themselves guiding men when it comes to dealing with women and things like that. If you listen to a lot of them, it's all about, their whole language is me, my, I. Like if you listen to these dating coaches, it's all about the man. It's all about what the man want. What the woman want don't matter. Or if it do matter, it's kind of like compartmentalized into some little bitty shit, and the woman's needs and desires ain't really considered the way they supposed to be, right? And it's the same way with the ladies, at least from the few that I've seen. I ain't watched a whole lot of them on either side, but the ladies is the same thing. It's all about her, and the needs and desires of the man is compartmentalized into some little bitty shit that's not even secondary, but it's primary, and it barely even matter, right? So this is what's going on in square society at large.
You dig? But and it's a lot of lame shit going on in the game too between people that call themselves pimps and hoes. You know, it's a whole bunch of lame ass dudes that call themselves the pimping and, you know, just ain't got no, you know, it's a lot of dudes in the game that call themselves the pimping, but they ain't really ladies men neither. You know, like how I was talking about the nerdy ass dating coaches. Hey man, you got some nerdy ass dudes that call themselves the pimping too. You got some dusty ass dudes that call themselves the pimping. You got some, I don't even know what to call them, but you know, they not really smart. They not really intelligent. They not articulate. You got some just goofballs that call themselves the pimping. Right? So I'm not trying to make it seem like the representatives of the lifestyle is just so much better and so far ahead of the representatives of the square lifestyle. But what I'm saying is among the best examples, like among the best examples of square relationships, above the best, among the best examples of boyfriend and girlfriend in marriages and shit like that. If you match that up against, or if you measure that up against the successful relationships between pimps and hoes in the game, hey man, that shit don't even compare. It don't even compare, man, because the type of sacrifices that pimps and hoes is willing to make for each other, the type of shit that pimps and hoes put on the line, man. Hey, it's some squares that ain't gonna never do that shit if it came down to it. You did? And see, it's a lot of people in the game that maneuver through the game, move around through the game, you know, navigate through the game with square lenses. They have a square outlook on the game, right? And you know, they playing the role of people in the game, but they really squares at heart. So the type of shit that they do in the game is square shit. Their nature is square shit. They just calling themselves pimps and hoes, and you know, it's like it's circumstantial. You know what I mean? Them being in the game is circumstantial. It's not because this is what they really want to be about. This is who they are. This is what they are. It ain't really like that, right? But hey, man, to the ones that's really true to this shit, the ones that's really, you know, walking like they talking, hey, man, it's big major love in this shit, man. And see, you know, people don't think that because, again, a lot of the representatives, you know, they square at nature, right? They square at heart. So a lot of the shit that they do be square shit. You know, like, you know, examples of pimp and hoe situations this contrary to love, right? Pimp and hoe situations that's not really pimping and hoeing at heart. You know, they just committing some of the things that pimps and hoes commit, but they not really pimps and hoes, right? Like examples of this is like a chick on the track getting sweated by some pimping doing some classic pimping. You know, he staying in the car. He not, you know, circling the block 20 times trying to sweat the bit unless she's out of pocket. But I'm talking about like it's a chick that's in pocket. She ain't acknowledged the pimping, so she ain't encouraged the pimping. You know what I mean? And pimping is just, you know, he just popping it at her. He might have seen her once or twice and he done shot his shot a couple of times, but the bitch, for whatever reason, you know, she got her panties in a bunch. So she don't like the fact that pimping is doing his job, because mainly she ain't doing her job. But for these reasons and other reasons, she called her man to, you know, play security, to play Kevin Costner, to play bodyguard and come get the pimping up off of her, right? You know, that's not her job to monitor the pimping, and, you know, whatever pimp she don't feel like sweating her, she call her folks. That's not her job. And then it's not her folks' job to be on call like Kevin Costner, like the bodyguard, and he's just sitting around ready. Soon as the bitch call, you know, he come like Batman, like she put the bat signal in the air and he just come over there and, you know, try to tell the pimping what to do because he can't tell the bitch what to do. Right? That's what it is. You know, he can't tell the bitch what to do, so the bitch tells him what to do, which is come over there and stop the pimping from doing his job. So he come over there and thinking that he got a better shot at telling the pimping what to do than he does telling this bitch what to do, right? So obviously that's some square shit. That's equivalent to a chick at the bar by herself. Her man is in the club, but he on the other side of the club at the table waiting for her to come back with the drinks and all that, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, to the unaware eye, it appears that she's by herself. So this unaware guy walk up to the chick, shoot his shot, you know what I mean? Trying to do the Biggie Smalls. Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind. You know what I mean? He trying to shoot his shot at the chick, and she get upset. Like he just supposed to be clairvoyant and know that she there with her man. So she get upset, call the man, and then he come over there, and now he trying to fight dude. You know, that's that same type of square shit, and that's the type of shit that squares go through before they get into the game. Then they come into the game as those same squares, and they maneuvering through the game with a square outlook, a square mind, and a square heart. You dig? So, you know, clearly in the game, somebody that's moving like that, they don't even have the right concept of the game, so it's not possible for them to have love in the game as pimps and hoes, right? And that what I just broke down speaks for the majority of people in the game. So because of that, it's rare that you're going to see real love in the game between pimps and hoes. But that's not to say that it's impossible, and it's not to say that it's not going on in real time as we speak. Hey, man, there's some real major love in the game between pimps and hoes. You dig? Now, you know, on the flip side of that coin, an example of some love between pimps and hoes. See, they got the right outlook. You know, this hoe understands her role. She understands her folks' role, and she understands the roles of the pimping that's outside doing their job. You dig? So, because she got love for herself, she got love for her folks, she got love for the game. When she see pimping doing his job, she gonna do what a hoe supposed to do. She gonna get in a hoe's place, which is in the trick's face, because she understands that's the best way to get some pimping up off her heels, right? If he just sweating her to the point where he just, you know, he ain't letting her, he won't let her breathe, you dig? She knows that calling her folks don't make no sense, because he not rescue Ronnie. He not finna come to her rescue. That's not even his job. That's not his place, right? And she knows that the pressure is on her to, you know, get out of that situation the way she was taught to, the way she was laced to, the way that a hoe is supposed to, right? And see, what a lot of people don't understand is this is, of course, this is a small display, but it's still love though, right? Because them same type of chicks that call they folks when they getting sweated, hey, sometimes they can't call they folks. So you know who they call? They call the police, or they call security. You know, I done seen it happen plenty of times, and it's happened to me plenty of times where, you know, we might be in a certain environment, and, you know, the chick, she'll flag a police car down. You dig? Because she don't like the fact that pimping is sweating her. Or it done been, you know, what done happened to me more times than not. Hey, man. Hey, I done been in several situations where, you know, it's two chicks together, and I'm getting at one, and the one that I'm getting at is giving me rhythm. You dig? But her friend or her HP or her wife, whoever she's with, just can't stand that shit, right? And really it's because, you know, she want action at a pimp, but it just didn't go that way. You dig? And instead of letting it be known, because, you know, hey, it could turn out to be a double knocking. You know what I mean? Both of you bitches could come. For real, though. You dig? But, again, that girlfriend shit don't have her looking at shit like that, right? But for whatever reason, she mad that I'm getting at her girl that she with, and she called security, or she called police. You know what I mean? That's another example of that lack of love in the game. You dig? But That's what make them chicks do that type of shit. You dig? That's somebody who ain't got love for theyself, ain't got love for the game, ain't got love for her, HP or wifey or whatever that is to her. Because, hey man, that's another example of love in the game, right? See, love in the game is, you want to see your wifey with some good pimping, some good folks, even if it ain't the same folks as yours, right? That's love for the game. That's love for the game that allows you to look at things from that perspective, right? Same token with me. That's one reason why Sinful and myself, hey man, we was about the only cast that we could campaign with, man. We didn't campaign with other people, man, and sometimes it'd be cool, but most of the time, jealousy is gonna arise, man. Jealousy is gonna rear its ugly head, man. And see, that's one thing that made Sinful and myself such perfect campaign partners, because we equally wanted to see each other come up. Just as bad as I wanted to see Sinful come up, Sinful wanted to see Freeze come up. You dig? So a lot of times it would turn into a John Stockton match. It'll turn into who could assist who the most. You know what I mean? Who could help get who the most action. You dig? Because Sinful John Stockton game was cold. You dig? His John Stockton game was most likely colder than mine. You dig? But he just know how to, and then not overdo it, because some cats will do that too. And, a lot of times it'd be jealousy that make them do that. You dig? Because some cats will be trying to overdo it, but really what it is they trying to subliminally campaign for themselves. You dig? But Sinful and myself, man, we had that kind of love for each other and love for the game. We wanted to see each other pimp hard and big. You dig? So whenever I seen Sinful getting some action, man, I might do the John Stockton if it's necessary, but then you got to know when to do that too. You got to know when not to do the John Stockton and just do the Fat Joe and lean back all the way. You dig? And Sinful and myself knew how to do that as well, right? Like if it looked like it's a sealed deal, you did, we can do the Fat Joe lean back and just let the situation handle itself and let Pimpin' do his thing, and shit'll work out cool. But if it's a situation that looked like it could use a little bit of John Stockton, then we doing that. You dig? We just had a good eye for that type of shit. Just like how they say basketball IQ, our Mackin IQ was just off the charts, you dig, when it came to that type of shit. But it's love that allows you to do that type of shit, right? It ain't nothing else. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about this game, man. Hey, it's big love in this shit, man. For real, though. Tyler, good looking with the $2 holla. Blessings. Hit the like button. Yeah, man. Big love in this shit, though. And see, obviously, because, chicks hand it over to guys for all different kind of reasons, man. So don't think that I'm trying to say that just because a chick is willing to go out there, as Sinful to Pete would say, put herself in danger and seduce and reduce strangers just to hand it over to a guy. Don't think that it's necessarily love that it takes love for a chick to do that. Now, a chick can do that with love in the mix, with love being involved, but that in and of itself doesn't mean that a chick loves the game, loves herself, and loves the pimping. It don't mean that, because we got all kind of chicks that's doing that as renegades that don't love theyself. We got all kind of dope fiend chicks in the game that's doing that for a dope fiend daddy. You dig? It's all kind of it's chicks that do it just for attention, or just to keep from being homeless, because she knows she can't make it as a renegade on her own, but she know that if she pretend to be a hoe and get with this guy that call herself a P, that'll keep her out the cold in the winter and all that type of stuff. You got a lot of that going on too. But I'm not saying that just because a chick getting down and handing it over that means that she got love inside of this game. But man, when a chick does have love, when she does love herself, when she does love the game, when she does love the pimping, and the pimping is loving on her in the same type of way. You dig? Hey, man, how she maneuvered through this game is going to be beautiful. You dig? Love is just so powerful in this game, man. See, another example of like chicks that don't have love in the game. Chicks that hate the game. You know, like them people that work a 9 to 5 that just hate their job. They get up in the morning like begrudgingly, like, oh man, got another day of this shit. Man, I don't want to go to work today. That's how a lot of these chicks is, man. Just like you hate your 9 to 5, some of y'all. Because some of y'all got 9 to 5s that you love. And shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the people that got 9 to 5s that they love. You dig? Because they know that they 9 to 5, the job that they do is a beautiful service to the community, man. And I know a lot of y'all got them type of 9 to 5. Shout out to y'all, man. Whatever it is that you do that you love to do, man, shout out to you. But, you know, some of y'all got them kind of jobs that, you know, you might just have it in the meantime, in between time, and you really don't like that job and you really hate getting up in the morning every day to do that shit. It's chicks in the game that's like they look at the game like that, right? It sounds crazy because you would think like, damn, why would somebody do that if they hate doing that? Why would they subject themselves to that? Why would they not do something else? Because like I said, a lot of these chicks is the square world's rejects, man. They ain't good students. They not good employees. So they resort to the game where they could be lazy and still get by. But you got a lot of them type of chicks, man, that hate what they do. So just like somebody that might be in customer service, you ever seen them type of people in customer service that just like, you know, they ain't trying to hear it. You know, you might have a issue that needs to be dealt with, or you might need their help for one reason or another, and they just like got a bad attitude with you. You dig? That's how a lot of these 304s be. So them chicks that you see, if they on the track, you know what I mean? They might be talking to a trick and the trick tell them something that they don't want to hear. Then they get an attitude. They want to cuss the trick out. You know what I mean? Call him broke. Not knowing that he ain't broke. He just don't want to break himself to yo trifling ass, yo unprofessional ass, yo no skills, no 304 and having ass. Yeah, he just don't want to break himself to you. But because he don't want to date you, he got to be broke and he got to be everything but a child of God. You dig? But chicks just be out there with a bad attitude. They getting into it with tricks. They getting into it with other 304s. They getting into it with the pimping when the pimping ride past trying to sweat them. You know what I mean? Then if the police come and they get an issue with the police, you know, just like that thumbnail of that video I did not too long ago, they get into it and being belligerent with the police too. They just got a bad attitude with everybody. You know what I mean? That's clearly somebody that don't love theyself, don't love the game, and for sure, don't love the pimping. But see, on the other side, on the other hand, right? Oh, but before I continue, you know what I mean? You got, just to be clear, you got chicks like that on the internet too. You know what I mean? Them chicks that'll cuss out tricks via text message, cuss out tricks via over the phone, having a conversation. Soon as the tricks say something that they don't want to hear, they got a bad attitude and they tripping. You know what I mean? And see, what a lot of people don't understand is this be the beginning of a bad situation for a lot of 304s, right? A lot of chicks that get into bad situations with tricks, not all the time, but a lot of times that's how it starts. You know, they agitate the shit, but that's a whole nother conversation. But on the other hand, chicks that love theyself, love the pimping, and love the game, right? They love who they represent. They love what they represent. They love their role. You know, they just got a lot of love surrounding them throughout this game, right? That's the chick that can be professional. You know, because she love what she do. She love being a hoe. You know? Don't listen to them soft white underbelly chicks that, you know, got all these sob stories, these horror stories or crybaby stories and all this type of stuff. You know, that got a wig that looked like it was in a suitcase and you know, it wasn't packed right, and they just pulled that thing out the suitcase and slapped it on their head and went to soft white underbelly to do an interview, and they talking, you know, they ain't got nothing good to say about the game. I ain't talking about them. Don't listen to them and think that, they speak for the whole game. Nah. They speak for a lot of people in the game, but not the whole game. I'm talking about them chicks that love the game, right? See, it's that love for the game and that love to be a 304 that allows chicks to be professional. And see, when you professional, then your power can be put to use. See, when you're not professional and you got a bad attitude, your power of a 304, it's not there. It's absent. You dig? But when that chick got that love for the game and love for herself, and she loved breaking on tricks, you know what I mean? She loved when a trick pull up on her because she sees that as another opportunity. She just love opportunities. You dig? And then if the trick tell her something that she don't want to hear, you know what I mean? She not tripping, because another thing that she love is challenges. You know what I mean? Because she know challenges help her grow. Challenges help her evolve in order for her to elevate. You dig? A lot of people be trying to skip the evolution part of it and skip to the elevation part of it. But hey, you can't have the elevation without the evolution. You dig? So she loved them challenges because challenges mean evolution and evolution mean elevation. You dig? So she just loved progression in the game. You know what I mean? She loved manifestation of hoeing in the game. And so she loved interacting with tricks because she sees it as another opportunity to become greater and produce greatness. You know what I mean? Do some 304ing and, further master the art of breaking on a trick. You dig? That's love that allows a chick to do that. And see, a lot of people in the game don't like to use the love word because, like I say all the time, they think love is something that's exclusive to squares. But despite whatever terminology they want to use, when it all boils down, it's love. You dig? I'm just one of them people that's not afraid and has never been afraid to use the love word because I know that don't make me any less of a pimp. You know what I mean? By using the love terminology. Now, like I said, it's not the same as the love between squares. You know what I mean? So, the love between squares, I had them walking through the mall holding hands and shit like that. The love between pimping and hoeing don't work like that. Pimping and hoeing ain't into the PDA. We not into the public displays of affection. But, it's still love though. We not every time we get off the phone with each other, I love you, baby, I love you too. Pimping and hoeing ain't working like that. We don't move like that. Right? So it's not always us, verbally or physically professing our love, affectionately, displaying love, but it's still love being displayed. It's just the type of affection is just different. You dig? Of course, there's intimacy going on in the game too, but it's not something that's a major determining factor like it might be in a square relationship. You know what I mean? See, like the square relationships, that physical intimacy, that might be a major part of the connection. You dig? A lot of times for squares, if it ain't no intimacy going on, it ain't no love going on. If they don't have that physical chemistry, then a lot of times it don't work. You dig? But see, in the game, though, we can still have major love for each other, and that physical thing ain't the biggest thing. You know what I mean? And sometimes the physical thing ain't a thing at all. You dig? I done had some 304s that I had major love for. You dig? Never went there with them, though. And still got major love for them right now, even though they've been gone however long they've been gone. And they might be paying somebody else and stomping down for somebody else and, making sacrifices for somebody else and all that shit. But I still got love. Not just for her, but for what they got going on because I love the game and everything that's operating properly up in it. You dig? So if they got some happy, pimping and 304 and going on, then I love that too. You dig? See, that's another thing about this love. See, if a square is in love with a woman and that woman go, get with some other man, and he's still in love with that woman, it's going to make that square sick to his stomach. You know, the thought of her being with somebody else. The thought of her, you know, giving somebody else what she was giving him. But see, the pimping on the other hand, man, this game, hey, I love it though. You know, I love it if a chick leave me because, you know, all good things come to an end. But another thing about this game, you know, great things begin where good things end. And I know that. And sometimes the good thing could be my thing with the chick. It might be coming to an end. But it might mean that some great things begin with her and the next pimping. But as a lover of the game, I love to see it. You know what I mean? Because what I don't want to see is a chick blow up on me and, you know, quit the game and go get a square boyfriend and be broke with him, and they both at her mama's house or his mama's house, or, you know, they struggling at squares and shit like that. Both of them got dead end 9-to-5s that they could barely survive on and all that type of shit. I don't want to see that for the chick. You did? And I'm going to be disappointed. Be like, damn. All this beautiful shit that you done experienced in this game, and that's what it come to? You go get with a lame ass, nothing ass square that ain't no good to you? I can see if you went and got with a cool square, but damn, bitch, you didn't went and got with a, come on now. On the other hand, what I would much rather see is a chick leave me, take everything that I gave her, all the game, all the guidance, you know what I mean, and go allow herself to be a blessing with the next pimp. You know what I mean? And don't let them do greater things together than she did with me, or I love that too. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a turnout of mine. I done turned her out. I done gave her the proper introduction to this game. Because sometimes that's what it might be too. You dig? Sometimes you might just be a layover for a chick. You know what I mean? You might just be a layover for her to get to the next thing, which might be the best thing. Right? So don't let it be a situation where I done turned this chick out properly. She a good hoe, but then she blow on me, go get with the next pimp, and she be a great hoe. Pfft, man, I love that. It's love that allow you to do that. I don't care what nobody tell you. Freeze telling you that's love. Where you could look on a situation like that and smile. Pfft, man, I love that. You dig? And another reason that allows me to love that is because I know I got mine coming. Because I'm true to the game and I'm good to the game, so the game gonna be true and good to me. I got mine coming, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not looking at it like, oh, he got what's mine. She giving him my money. She giving him my kitty cat. You dig? I ain't looking at it like that, man. Cause I know I got mine coming. You dig? And I might have mine currently right now. You dig? When she blow. But that's love though. Hey man, one of the greatest displays of love that I seen from a pimp. I remember pimping called me, right? Joseph Tucker, good looking with the $5 holler. Freeze is it, fixing folks' mindset with this game. Man, I appreciate you. But yeah, I remember pimping called me, right? And he was like, yeah, P, man, I was calling you because, you know, out of all the pimps that I know, man, I can't think of nobody better to call about this than you. But he was like, man, my bottom bitch, man, who been down with me for 8 years, man, you know, she done blew on me, man. And, you know, I don't want her to go out bad, man. I want her to get with some pimping, you know, and I want her to get with some good pimping. So I called you, man, because, you know, I really want her to go with you. You dig? Our thing done came to an end. It is what it is. I don't see her coming back with me, and I don't see me taking her back. But I want to see her with some pimping, man, because she really a good 304, and I don't want her to go out bad. I want to see her get properly pimped on, man. So I'm calling you. And then he you know, he gave me the whole rundown. He gave me the whole facts on this chick, man. He told me all her pros, all her cons, and, you know, how to deal with the cons. And, you know, he told me more pros than he did cons. He didn't try to badmouth the chick, you know what I mean? And the little cons that he said was, you know, typical shit. You did. He done had this chick for 8 years, man. But see, what a lot of cats don't understand is it take love to do that. It take love for you to call some pimping, to try to line him up with a chick that you done had for 8 years, and not just had for 8 years, but this is your main chick. You know what I mean? Out of all the chicks you done had over this 8 years, this your most solid one. This is the one that you probably love the most, that you care about the most. But you call your pimp partner to line him up with the chick, because that's how much love you got for her and him and this game. You want her to go and probably get pimped on, and you don't see nobody else better for the job than him, so you call him in order to line that shit up. That's love. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you what somebody who ain't got love for the game gonna do. Somebody who ain't got love for the game, had the chick 8 years, she blow up on him, she go choose up with some more pimping. He gonna call pimping and be like, hey man, you know that bitch is a snitch, man. That's why we ain't together no more, man, because the bitch put a case on me, man. I can show you the paperwork and everything. No, he lying through his teeth. He done made some doctored up paperwork and some more shit on this chick, man. Yeah, man, she done put them people on me, man. And, you know, I'm going through a situation right now. I'm out on bail right now, man. I just paid for my lawyer and all of that type of shit. Total drag. You know what I mean? And he gonna do all this because he know that 9 times out of 10, that's going to make the pimpin' not want to have the bitch. Or he going to be like, yeah, man, I just want to let you know, man, the reason why I ain't got that chick no more, man, is because I found out she got herpes, man. Yeah. You know, she had the shit for a little while. She was trying to hide it, man, but, you know, I found out, man, and, you know, I just want to let you know, man, that's what you over there dealing with. You know what I mean? They be putting false snitch jackets on the chick, false disease jackets on the chick. You know what I mean? All kind of false jackets that don't fit this chick. They trying to squeeze it on her. You know what I mean? Shit that don't belong just because they on some sabotage shit. If I can't have her, nobody can. That ain't love. That's hate. That's somebody that hate they self, hate the broad, hate the pimping, hate the game. They just a leech off the game. You dig? But you got dudes that be out here on some sucker ass shit like that. You know what I mean? That ain't got nothing to do with no type of love at all in the game. You know what I mean? And see, my love for the game, for myself, and for anybody that's rocking with me, you know, my love restricts me from doing shit like that. You dig? I love the game way too much. I love my reputation, my pimping way too much to be associated with some nonsense like that. But hey, man, you got cats that, you know, some of y'all be shaking hands with. Some of y'all probably be smoking and drinking with. You know what I mean? Some of y'all done ate with. They be doing this old lame ass, sucker ass type of shit. You know? Some of the cats that you really be respecting, man, be doing this old weird ass type of shit. You dig? And man, hold on, let me put some more love in my body, man, before I continue. Hey, man, you mean to tell me it's 141 of y'all up in here and only 115 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain? Hit that like button, man. It ain't gonna hurt you, and it ain't gonna cost you. Nothing but a split second of your time in a pinch of energy. I'll tell you another good display of love in the game, right? Once upon a time, it was these two pimps that was partners, right? They was real tight with each other. And one of them had a turnout that, you know, he had her for a few years. And this turnout that he had for a few years was digging on his partner, right? She was getting out of pocket with him and, you know, showing interest and things like that. So guess what he did when he found out? He say, bitch, I see you digging on my partner, man. She denying it. No, I ain't, no, you know. He like, yeah, bitch, you know, it's okay. You know, I'm finna call him up and line that up. You know, you can go over there with him right now. And that's what he did. He called Pimpin' up and said, hey, man, this bitch, she like me more than she like you, man. And I'd rather see her with you than with me, man, because that's where she want to be. And he lined it up. And do you know, after he lined that up, his partner ended up having that chick for a decade. He had that chick for 10 years. You know, that's love. Now imagine what would have happened if he didn't do that. Imagine what might have happened with that chick if he didn't do that. You know what I mean? What kind of wrong path she might have went down if he didn't do that. You did? That's love for his partner. That's love for the broad. That's love for himself. And most importantly, that's love for the game. Did allow chicks to or did allow pimping to do stuff like that, man. You know, like I said, people don't like using that love word because when they think of the love word, they thinking of you know, the best man. When they hear love, they thinking of love and basketball. When they hear love, they thinking of Love Jones. You know what I mean? When they hear love, they thinking of When Harry Met Sally and all this sort of type of shit. You know, they thinking of The Notebook when they hear the word love, man. Hey, but them type of people ain't the only ones that know what love is and experience love, man. It's some big love flowing through the game. It's just not touching everybody. You dig? And a big part of the reason why it ain't touching everybody is because, you know, they so scared of it because they don't really know what it is. They don't know that it's for them just as much as it might be for squares. It's just in a different form. You know, like I said, the way pimps and hoes display love is totally different from the way squares display love. But that don't make it any less of what it is, which is love. You dig? And not just any kind of love, but major love, man. Let me tell you another thing that got to do with love, man. You know, I ain't gonna say no names, man, because, you know, I really don't want to be on that, man. I really ain't trying to be messy, and I really ain't trying to start no nonsense, man. But so I'm mentioning this situation because it has to do with pimping, and it has to do with love for the game. And, you know, when you have love and integrity for your pimping and love and integrity for the game, it doesn't allow you to do certain things. And it prevents you from falling for certain things, right? But it's these people, man. You know, my name was mentioned. They tagged me in a post, but they did this little podcast, I guess, or live, you know, whatever the case may be. And it was a couple of guys on the podcast with this host. And the host was a female, right? And the female host asked the guys to choose, and she didn't specify any criteria as far as the choice go, from what I recall. But she just mentioned my name and another guy's name, another guy in the game, right? She was like, freeze or such and such, you know, and you know, the first guy, he was like, come on, man, why you do him like that? Talking about the other guy. He telling the host, he telling her, come on, man, why you gonna do such and such like that? That ain't, you know, that don't even compare, man, you know, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So, you know, he proceeds to throw Freeze under the bus and big up the other guy. And then the second guy who was asked the same question, you know, his response was kind of similar, but, you know, it was a little bit more timid, you know, but he kind of agreed with the first guy. And, you know, the funny thing about these guys is that the last time I spoke to these guys was on live, and both of them was, you know, sweet as pie. Both of them was pussycats. You know what I mean? They was nice guys, right? They didn't show any type of animosity towards me. You know, these was on separate occasions. The last time I spoke with either one of them was on live, you know, but, you know, both of them was, you know, one of them was pleading his case, letting it be known he didn't have no problem with me and he wished me well and all this, that, and the third. Then the other guy was just, being real nice and things like that, right? But see, this the thing. See, what they allowed themselves to fall for was a light form of manipulation, right? See, the female did what she was supposed to do as a female, what's expected of her to do as a female, which was compare to pimping, right? Compare this pimp to that pimp. That's what females do, right? But what's not supposed to happen is you supposed to be some pimping and you fall for this little tactic that this female came with. You know what I mean? Now, she didn't mean anything by it. She didn't mean to cause any disturbance in the game or nothing like that. But these guys, if they love the game the way that they supposed to and love they self the way that they supposed to and love the participants in the game the way that they supposed to, they not gonna fall for no shit like that. You know what I mean? And see, another thing that made them respond the way that they did is because when you ain't got love, that it allows for that jealousy to come on in and kick his feet up on the coffee table and make itself at home inside your brain, right? And inside your heart. And that's what these guys got going on. You know what I mean? Because these are people who, first of all, I've roasted both of them. Even though the last encounters that I had with each one of them was peaceful and as sweet as pie, prior to that, I done roasted both of these guys on different occasions, right? And, it be situations that I don't provoke. You know what I mean? Anybody who really knows me and pays attention to me, man, anybody who you've seen me roast, anybody who you've seen me have a disagreement with on the internet, they all initiated with me. I never start anything with anybody on this internet. You dig? Or like in my brother's case, a couple people who I done roasted recently, you know what I mean, is been because, they might have had a conflict with my brother, and I just felt compelled to roast their ass. But, if it's not something that has to do with sinful to pee, if it's just an issue between myself and somebody else, when you see that, just like with sinful, same type of thing. Most of the situations that you seen him get into was people starting it with him. So I'm the same way, man. These dudes be starting shit with me, and I can't call it anything but jealousy. That's the only thing I can identify it as, right? But another thing within this jealousy is that, these guys are just fans. That's what I be having to remind myself too. And that's another reason why, at this point, guys in the game, they call themselves the pimping. Even if I don't respect they pimping, even if I don't respect their manhood, I'm doing my best to not let them have it, man, because, these dudes is wishy-washy, man. They can't make their mind up. One day they hate me, one day they love me, that's no different than a lot of these confused bras that's in the game. You know what I mean? It's certain bras in the game. One day they want to choose me, the next day they can't stand my guts and all this other type of shit. And it all depend on if they on their period or not. You know what I mean? And guys who ain't got no period, you know what I mean, they be going through the same type of emotional roller coasters. But I be having to remind myself, man, that these guys, they not equal. They're not equal to me. And the jealousy be having to do with something about me that they wish they had that they don't have, and they hate me for having it. And like I say all the time, when they see me, I'm a reminder to them of why they hate themselves for whatever reason. You dig? But when I really think about it and put it in perspective, it's a waste of time to even go back and forth with these type of people. You dig? because it's like a 5-year-old. You know, if a 5-year-old call you ugly, or if a 5-year-old call you stupid, you know, as a grown person, 9 times out of 10, you're going to laugh. Like, oh, look at this little cute little kid calling me ugly, or look at this cute little kid calling me stupid. You're going to laugh. You can't even take a 5-year-old seriously as far as them insulting you, right? And that's how I see these dudes, man. They like my nephews, man. Sinful was a lot of these guys' father. So by me being his brother, man, these dudes is my nephews, man. So I can't get mad at my nephews, you know. I might just give them a noogie or a wedgie or something and, you know, send them on their way. But, you know, I can't get mad at my little nephews, man. I can't go back and forth. What the uncle look like going back and forth with the nephew, man? That's crazy, man. I can't do that. So, but what I'm saying is, in that situation that I just broke down, you know, these guys fell for a little manipulation tactic, man. And what they don't understand is, see, when you some pimping, right, and you get on these platforms with other people and you being interviewed and things like that, you have to look at this as you being a representative of this game. And you have to look at it as an opportunity to be big, right? You know, y'all know me, I ain't really done no interviews on the internet like that. But if I was to ever go on somebody's platform and do an interview or something like that, I'm going to put the game on display in the biggest and best way. I'm going to see that as an opportunity to be big. Just like every time I go live, like right now. You know, before y'all, this is an opportunity for me to be big. So that's the only thing I'm going to do is be big in front of y'all. Right? So, you know, they didn't recognize it that way. And maybe because, you know, they don't see themselves like that. They don't see themselves as ambassadors of the game like I see myself. You know I'm an ambassador of the game. I'm a spokesperson for the game. You know, so it's my job to make the game look good as much as possible. With everything in me, I gotta make the game look good. You know, I gotta make the game look like something, as Sinful to Pete would say, special and peculiar, not regular and familiar. You dig? So I gotta be big. So what they should have said is they could have used that as an opportunity to teach that young woman, you know, well, you know, baby, that ain't what pimps do. You know, we don't say this pimp or that pimp. You know what I mean? Because ain't no big eyes or little U's in this shit. And, you know, me as a contemporary of these guys, you know, I'm not going to choose, you know, because, you know, it ain't my job to choose. I ain't got no heels and mini skirt to put on for either one of these guys. So because of that, you know, because I ain't trying to choose nobody, because I'm a pimp that's trying to get chose my damn self, you know, I'm going to just say congratulations to both of them guys. And hey, you know, if you like one, let me ask you, because didn't nobody ask her what she thought. You know what I mean? But the table should have been turned around on her. You know what I mean? You know, while you asking the question, which one do you like better? Do you like Freeze or do you like the other guy? You know what I mean? Which one, who do you prefer and why? You know what I mean? That's what I would have did. You know what I mean? Because one thing about me, man, I ain't did no interviews with no chicks. I ain't sat down and let no chick interview me. And not to say that I wouldn't, but hey, man, she ain't finna steer me in a direction that I don't want to go. You know what I mean? I'm not going to the interview with a blindfold on, man, and letting this chick guide me and direct me anywhere. You dig? And that's what them dudes allowed her to do. They allowed her to guide and direct them down a path that they shouldn't have even been trying to go down. You know what I mean? They should have grabbed the steering wheel they damn self as supposed to be pimping and, you know, turned that shit around and been like, nah, chick, we finna go this way. This how we gonna handle this. And they would have taught her something. You know what I mean? They would have showed her a bigger and better example of what the pimping is that she obviously ain't never seen before, because if she had a better understanding of what pimping is, she would have never asked them guys that question. You know? But see, a lot of these dudes, they just be so happy to be seen. They be so happy to get some clout. You know what I mean? That they'll just get it anywhere they can in any way they can. But nah, man, you know, that's your opportunity to be big. You know, they were supposed to redirect that whole shit and they didn't, man. You dig? But hey, It's all good. You know, I'ma still show big major love for this game. You dig? Lojo, good looking with the $2 holla. How does C Note consistently stay broke? You know, and see, I don't want people to think I'm trying to roast C Note. You know, I don't want people to think I have a problem with C Note, even though I have had problems with C Note in the past. You know, at this point in time, man, you know, I ain't got nothing, you know, I'm not trying to be partners with him, but at the same time, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't have no animosity towards him. But the thing with C Note, right? This is just my assessment. See, it's kind of good that you brought him up because, you know, he's a prime example of somebody who don't know what love is about at all. That's somebody who don't love themselves. That's somebody who don't love the game. That's somebody who ain't never loved a 304. You know, and this is just my estimation of my personal experience with him and some of the things that I know about him and, you know, his dealings with other people who loved him in the game and how he dealt with those people. You know, there's guys who considered him like a brother who have been nothing but a blessing to them. And, you know, he on the flip side of that coin has been a curse to those individuals. You know, there's people who have showed him major love, you know, different gentlemen in the game who wanted to see him win and did everything in their power to encourage him winning. But, you know, because he had jealousy and envy for those individuals, he couldn't receive that love that they was giving him properly, right? So, you know, the hatred that he had in his heart for the game, the hatred that he had in his heart for participants in the game, you know, it didn't allow him to appreciate that. So, you know, he burnt bridges with those people in a nasty way. And, you know, I don't know anybody whose quality of life he enhanced by their association with him. You know, I don't know any 304s who can speak highly of him and how he was a blessing to them. You know, I don't know any other P's. In fact, I recall, you know, young P's speaking about an experience with him that just wasn't cool. You know, as an elder, and see, that's another thing too. A lot of cats don't be thinking about. As an elder in the game, man, you have to be that much more big. You have to be that much bigger everywhere you go. You know what I mean? You're a representation of this game. You know, it's one thing for a young P that's on fire about this shit to represent this game properly. But as an elder in the game, somebody that people look up to, somebody that people admire as somebody who came before them in the game, hey man, you gotta be big at all times. You can't allow for yourself to be seen as small amongst people that's looking up to you in the game. You can't do that, but you know, he's done that before. So yeah, that's just somebody who unfortunately, man, you know, he ain't never understood the concept of love in this game, man. So, you know, to answer your question, Lojo, that's got a lot to do with why things have been and why things might possibly still be the way they are with him. You know what I mean? But blessings to that guy. Joe Blast, good looking with the $5 holla. Enough respect, Freeze 100. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, but you know, and see, you know, because I love the game so much, man, and I love myself so much, you know, I ain't got a problem wishing people well, you know, who even done prayed on my downfall, man. Who even done did sucker shit towards me and all that type of stuff, man. You know, I hope God do something for them people. You know what I mean? If it's meant to be. You know, I hope God move in their life some type of way, man. Cause you know, it's people that love them. It's good people that love people like that. Low Joe, good looking for the $2 holla. Polo is another bona fide hater too. yeah, you know, those are people who just like I said, man, they don't know what real love is, man. You know, some people as far back as their childhood never really received that, man. And like I said, that's one thing about me that I'm so grateful for, that I appreciate so much, that before I got into the game I knew what love was. You know what I mean? From as far back as I can remember, my earliest memories of life as a child, I remember love. You know what I mean? I remember love from my parents, from my mom and my dad. You know, love from my older brothers. You know, love from my grandma, love from my uncles and aunties and cousins. You know, I just remember a whole bunch of love. You did? So, I understand everybody didn't have that. And then some people had that, but just, they was just rotten, man. And they just, they just, they just don't, I don't know. They just don't know nothing about no love, man. But me, man, I appreciate the love that I received all my life, man. And I, still receive love from them people to this day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's unfortunate that everybody don't get to receive that. But that's a part of life too. And that's what makes life so beautiful, man. You know, I was watching this interview with this cat on the Art of Dialogue, right? Art of Dialogue was interviewing this rapper named D1. Shout out to both of them guys, right? But the D1 dude, he younger guy, younger than me, but I guess he been rapping for a little while, but he was talking about hip hop and the negativity in hip hop and how I need to be more positivity and how I don't need to be no negativity. But me, I'm just at a point in life where I understand that negativity is necessary, right? And without negativity, we wouldn't appreciate positivity the way that we supposed to, right? We need some contrast. And, as much as we don't like negativity, as much as we don't like the things that we don't like, we have to understand that we wouldn't love the things that we love as much without the things that we don't like. You dig? So, people like that is necessary. Suckers is necessary in the game. Busters is necessary in the game. Haters is necessary in the game. Confused fans, because that's like the people that you name in Lojo, they nothing but confused fans. Those are some of my biggest fans. You might think that they haters because of the way that they express themselves, but they really fans though. That's really what they are. Because the type of hater shit that they be, saying and displaying, it don't really be like that. The temperature be totally different when you confront those type of people. Everybody who was tough with me on the internet, when I seen them, it wasn't like that. Especially the people who I didn't know before. Now, Lojo, this last person that you named, I knew them before. It was a point in time where me and that individual was actually all right with each other. We wasn't never best friends or partners, real close partners or nothing like that. But we was cool. We was cordial when we would see each other. You know what I mean? We done been in a circle, chopped it up, plenty of times, done went as a group to, breakfast and, dinner and stuff like that. So that person at one point in time I was all right with. But so I can understand him, acting the way that he acted, which is a little different from like a C-Note and other people. Cause C-Note was somebody that was hating on me before I even met him in the flesh. You dig? And then when I finally did meet him in the flesh, his temperature was totally different. You know what I mean? And I didn't recognize it at the time. I still thought he was a hater at the time. But the whole time he was a fan. You know what I mean? Because this is somebody who put disease rumors on me. Somebody who said they was going to do something to me when they seen me. Threatened me. All of this stuff online, right? But then when I finally saw him face to face, he was shaking, like literally shaking. His hands was shaking. He was stuttering. And at the time when it was going on, right, I thought it was out of fear. But it wasn't really out of fear, I don't think. Now that I think about it in retrospect, I think it was like a nervousness because that's how much of a fan he is. And then at the time when he's shaking and stuttering, he's complimenting me. This is somebody who our last dealings with each other on the internet was him threatening me and putting rumors on me that was untrue, right? So it was negative encounters between us on the internet last I seen. And then when we first see each other face to face, you know, he's shaking and stuttering and, you know, telling me how cold of a pimp I am. Oh man, I gotta say, you's a cold pimp. I just, like, where's the energy that you said you was gonna do something to me? And if I'm such a cold pimp, how you put these disease jackets on me and all this type of shit? So like I said, at the time, because I didn't understand things the way that I do now, since then, but at the time I thought he was still a hater, and I thought that he still had like a negative outlook on me, but nah, he showed me in that moment that he's really a fan. And like I've said before, some of these fans, that's like me. I might be a LeBron fan. And, if LeBron have a bad game, I might talk shit about him. That damn LeBron, he losing it, man. He's sorry as hell. He this, he that. But I'm saying this shit with a LeBron jersey on and some LeBron shoes on. And a LeBron poster in my bedroom. And I'm talking all this shit about LeBron. But I'm still a fan, though. And if I see LeBron, even though I'm talking all this shit about him, if I see him, I'm going to ask him for an autograph because I'm a fan. You know what I mean? That's how these guys are. They see Freeze like their favorite basketball player or favorite football player, favorite rapper or favorite singer, favorite actor. You know what I mean? I'm their favorite pimp. And you might talk shit about your favorite pimp. You know what I mean? You might slander your favorite pimp, but if you ever see your favorite pimp, you're going to try to shake that favorite pimp's hand. You're going to try to take a picture with this favorite pimp. You're going to try to associate yourself some type of way with this favorite pimp because this is your favorite pimp. Even though you was talking crazy about him on the internet, now that you done seen him, you in awe. You like, damn, this is my favorite pimp right here in the flesh. Damn. So that's what it is, man. These guys that you call haters are really just fans, And see the difference between a hater and a disgruntled fan. See, a disgruntled fan is just gonna talk, but that disgruntled fan ain't gonna actually do something to bring you harm or put you in a bad situation or any. A disgruntled fan ain't gonna do none of that, but they might talk terribly about you, right? That's a disgruntled fan. A hater, on the other hand, is somebody that's gonna try to have you locked up on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Some shit that you ain't even did. They trying to have you locked up for it, or they trying to bring you harm. They trying to get you hurt. You know what I mean? They trying to get you deleted. That's a hater, and I've experienced both. You know what I mean? I've had people that I never met past the internet that are haters. You know what I mean? They really done tried to bring some drama into my life in real life. Haters. You know what I mean? And then I've experienced fans too from the internet. People that talk crazy, call me everything but a child of God, but ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight if they see me. They gonna cop a plea if they see me. They gonna try to shake my hand if they see me. Try to have a peaceful conversation with me if they see me. Those are fans. They're not really haters. So some of y'all got people that you probably thought for years was haters, but they really just fans, man. You know, they really just fans. If they not trying to cause no, if they not trying to like actually disrupt your life in real life, and you know, they so-called hatred don't go past talking. If it don't go past talking, man, they just a fan. They just a fan, that's all. Those type of fan I don't need. Yeah, man. Hey, but they, you know, I got a whole bunch of them. I got a whole, you know, I'm very well known on the internet, man. So you can imagine how many fans I got that be talking crazy about me. But like I said, now because I have a different outlook on things, I just see them as fans. You know, I explained it before on live, but I'll break it down again briefly, right? The day of Kenny Red's funeral, I had two experiences that were like epiphanies to me that just, you know, gave me a whole paradigm shift, right? Changed my whole outlook on haters, right? The first experience, you know, that day after Kenny Red's funeral, myself, Andre Taylor, and several other guys, you know, it was about 6 of us. We went to lunch. And while we was having lunch, you know, Dre asked me, he was like, Freeze, man, what's going on with you and such and such? He had mentioned another gentleman in the game who, you know, I had a disagreement with. And I explained to Dre what my issue was with him, right? Like, man, you know, he saying this and saying that and whoop-de-whoop, right? So after I explained it to Dre, you know, Dre had already talked to him before he talked to me, you know, and you know, Dre heard his side and he heard my side, and then Dre was like, Freeze, man, maybe he just like you, man. You ever thought about that? He just like you. And it messed me up because I never looked at it like that. Now the guy that he talking about, you know, me and him done been cool for a long time, but we just had a little misunderstanding. And it wasn't like no beef or nothing like that. It was just, you know, we wasn't seeing eye to eye on some shit. It wasn't no serious problem, no. It wasn't like no major fallout. It was just, you know, it wasn't like he wasn't messing with me no more and I wasn't messing with him no more. And when we see each other, it's a problem. It wasn't nothing like that. You know what I mean? It was just, we didn't see eye to eye. And when I explained the situation to Dre and he had heard his side and heard my side, Dre was like, man, maybe he just like you, man. And that shit messed me up in a beautiful way, though. I was like, damn, I didn't think about that, but that's probably true. You know, because he was pressing the issue with me about something. He was like, man, Freeze, you was supposed to do this and woo-de-woo-de-woo. And I just thought he was on some hater shit. But when Dre said it, I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that, right? So that, and then the next day after Kenny Red's funeral, I was on the track in San Francisco. You know what I mean? And I had seen this guy that Sinful and myself, but mainly Sinful, had a misunderstanding with on the internet. There's somebody who talked real bad about Sinful on the internet, right? And Sinful nor myself ever met this guy in person. Sinful never met him in person. And this was my first time meeting him in person the day after K-Red's funeral, right? So when I see him, you know, I'm in the pimp circle and he come up and he like, hey, Freeze, man, could I talk to you off to the side for a minute? So I stepped to the side with him, and same thing like I was saying about C-Note. He's shaking. He's shaking and his voice is shaky and he kind of stuttering a little bit. He like, man, I just want you to know, man, you know, I admire you, man. And tell Sinful, man, when you talk to Sinful, man, let him know, man, that I admire him. You know, he got a lot of game. He's some real pimping. And, you know, I didn't mean none of that stuff that I said about him on the internet, man. You know, I actually learned a lot from Sinful. And, you know, he went to a whole, as Sinful would say, praise and worship service for Sinful. Right? But the last I seen from him, man, he was slandering. He done made videos and he done slandered. Man, the worst shit that you could say about somebody, he done said about Sinful, right? And, you know, me and him, I think, had like a little bit of misunderstanding on the internet, but it wasn't like him and Sinful. But he know that, you know, I'm the closest thing to sinful. So that's why when he seen me, he was like that, right? So when the experience I had with Dre the day before, and then that experience taught me, like, man, these dudes ain't haters. They just fans. They are just fans. You know what I mean? Fans of their favorite pimps. So when that gave me a whole different outlook on shit, man. These people ain't really haters. You know, unless they trying to cause some real harm or get your freedom taken or get something of value taken from you in real life. You know what I mean? Trying to sabotage your life. Unless they trying to do that, they just fans. You know what I mean? They slandering you and making up lies on the internet and all that type of shit, man. Them people is fans. They are not haters. A hater is somebody that's trying to, mess your life up in real life in a real way. That's a hater. You know what I mean? Like, them people ain't haters. You dig? So they a different kind of fan. You know, they not a respectable fan. They not an admirable fan, but they still, they still fans. They just confused fans. You know what I mean? Because me, I say it all the time, other cats be having, they be feeling uncomfortable talking about the game like that. But me, man, hey, I'm the pimp's biggest fan. If you a pimp, a real pimp, I'm your biggest fan. And I ain't got no problem saying it. It don't make me uncomfortable to say it. Hey, man, I roots for the pimping harder than anybody. I'm the pimping's biggest fan. You dig? But, so I ain't never been that kind of fan. I ain't never, ever. Man, I'm so proud to say that because there's so many people that can't say that shit, man. Hey, but I ain't never made up no lies about nobody on the internet or off the internet. I ain't never made up no lies about nobody ever in life, period. Even people who I can't stand their guts. Even people who I, just do not like at all. Even people who done made up lies and rumors on me. I have never lied about anybody on the internet. I have never slandered nobody falsely on the internet, never in my life. You dig? And man, it feels so good to say that because there's so many people that can't say that shit. You know what I mean? It's so, especially when it come to me and Sinful, man. Shit. Especially Sinful, but even me, man. Like, they can't say that. A lot of people done hated on us, man, in the worst of ways. Shamelessly, too. I couldn't live with myself lying on somebody the way that they be lying on us, man. I don't know how they do it. They sleep like babies at night, comfortably. Knowing they done slandered a pimp, man. I don't know how they do it, but hey, it is what it is. Those kind of fans make you want to do whatever you do even better. Yeah, exactly. Right, tools, that's real shit. The game has a way of making you see things in an unorthodox manner. Hey, that's real talk. That's why I love the game, man, because it's so much shit that I done learned from the game and so many experiences that I've had that have taught me certain things in the game. That's why I don't see how people that's in the game don't love the game. And you got a lot of people like that, like I said. Like them people that's disgruntled when they go to their 9 to 5, like, oh, shit, got to do this shit again. You know what I mean? You got guys that's supposed to be pimps and girls that's supposed to be 304s that's like that, man. You got guys that's like, oh, man, got to go deal with this hard-headed ass bitch, man. Man. Can't stand this broad, man. Got to deal with her again. Got to spend time with her. You know what I mean? And then you got chicks that's the same way. You know what I mean? Gotta go deal with these tricks and gotta go stand on this track and gotta go sit in this in car. Gotta go to this casino, strip club. You know what I mean? Just really can't stand the game. Got a bitter taste in their mouth about this shit, but they participating in it on a daily basis, man. But I've learned so much, like you said, Ray Two's in an unorthodox way, man. I love this game. I love the outlook that the game done gave me. You know, I love the wisdom that the game done gave me. I love all this shit, man. You know, game done had a major part of me being who and what I am today, man. So I love it. Proud of myself. Ain't ashamed of myself. Ain't ashamed of my history. You dig? My history ain't no mystery. Unlike a lot of these people that you see on the internet, man, Free's history ain't no mystery. You know what I mean? You can go back to my city and ask about me. They ain't gonna tell you no weird shit about me. You know what I mean? You could talk to anybody in the game that really know me, that really done been down with me. You know what I mean? Some of them might say some shit out of jealousy, you know what I mean? But they can't tell you no weird shit and they can't tell you no sucker shit. That's what they can't do. You know, they can lie about some shit, but, you know, like I said, man, I'm proud of my history. I know the truth. In the words of Draco the Ruler, you dig? We know the truth. Yeah, man. So I love the game. Good, bad, and ugly, man. I love this shit. Still love it, man. You know, because it's a lot of people like that, man, that, you know, it's a lot of people who done been through a lot of the same things I done been through. It's some people who ain't even been through as much as I done been through. They went crazy, became dope fiends, strung out on dope. You know what I mean? You know, alcoholics, you know, just, you know, lost their mind, all kind of crazy shit. But I still love this game, man. After everything I done been through, you know, my whole time in the game ain't just been horror stories, though. You know, and I understand the shit could have been a lot worse for me. As much crazy shit as I done been through in the game, it could always be much worse. And it's a whole lot more good than it is bad as far as my resume in the game. I done experienced a whole lot more good than I have bad. You know? For real, so I love this shit. Still. You know, ain't too many people who done been in the game within the time frame that I have or longer that still love this shit. A lot of people got a bitter taste in their mouth about this shit. You know? You got a lot of people in the game that, you know, they only in this game because they can't do nothing else better. You got a lot of people who done been in the game for a while and they wish they could go do something else. They wish they didn't have to be in this shit, but they can't do nothing else, you know, because they ain't good at nothing. You know? And they don't have the right type of outlook on life as far as being of service to people and being a blessing to people. See, that's how I know I'm going to always be good. Even if I wasn't in the game no more, I'm going to be good because I know how to be of service to people. I know how to be a blessing to people. I know how to, you know, amplify the goodness in people. And as long as you got that about yourself, man, you're going to be good wherever you go and whatever you do. So I already know I'm going to always be straight. But that comes from love for the game and love in the game, though. You know what I mean? That's why I can still look at this game with a smile on my face. That's why I can still be a blessing to people in the game. You know? Because you got some guys, man, that been in the game 20 and 30, 40 years that ain't never been a blessing to nobody. You know what I mean? They can't point to one person or one person point to them and say, yeah, he was a blessing to me. Yeah, he helped enhance the quality of my life. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people, somebody could point to him and say, you know, yeah, he the reason why I start smoking cigarettes, or he the reason why I start doing powder, or he the reason why I start doing pills. He the reason that I'm a junkie right now. You know what I mean? He the reason why I lost my kids to the system. Yeah, it's a lot of them type of individuals in the game. He the reason why I did 8 years in the penitentiary, 10 years in the penitentiary. You know? And ain't nobody perfect, man, but you ain't gonna hear them stories coming to, you know, anything to do with Freeze. Freeze ain't never been responsible for somebody becoming a dope fiend. Freeze ain't never been responsible for somebody, you know, going crazy. or having a bitter taste in their mouth towards this game. Like I said, I ain't perfect, but it's a lot more people with good to say about me than maybe bad. Probably earlier in the game, you know, or maybe even later in the game, the wrong people slipped through the right crack with a pimp. Sometimes that happened. But they was bitter with they self before they even came across my path. But anybody with any kind of seed of goodness in them, I ain't do nothing but water and nurture that seed and turn it into a monster. You dig? But if somebody came with a bad seed, that seed just stayed bad, and a pimp might have been around it for a minute, but once a pimp identified it, a pimp did some social distancing between him and that bad seed, and it is what it is. You dig? But yeah, man, that's love in the game, though. If y'all got any questions, man, and Pimp ain't, got to your questions, y'all can go ahead and ask questions now. I'm reading these comments now. Cali Kids say, I remember that day. Yeah, man. Hey, that was a beautiful day, K-Red service, man. Of course, it was a sad occasion, but hey, man, the way so many people came together to celebrate that man's life, man, was beautiful, man. I done been to a lot of funerals, man, unfortunately, and I don't recall nothing like that, man. In my 42 years of living, man, I can't compare nothing to that. I done been to some beautiful services too, some great ones, man. But that one was it was so unique because what I loved about K Red's services, a lot of times when older cats, and I said this before too, but a lot of times when older pimps die, that's all you see at they service is other older pimps, and if you see any younger pimps at the service, they gonna be local. Hey man, for Kenny Red, there were older pimps that were local, that was on the West Coast, that came to pay their respects from all over the West Coast. It was younger pimps from all over the West Coast that came to pay their respects. It was older pimps cross country, thousands of miles away, who came to pay their respects to Kenny Red. And also, which was one of the most beautiful things to me, man, hey, it was young pimps that flew cross country to pay their respects to Kenny Red, man. That was beautiful. You dig? I love to see that, man. Just the way he brought so many people together on his behalf was beautiful, man. And I'm glad that I could say I was there to experience it, man. The only thing I regret is that I didn't get a copy of the obituary, man, because they ran out of them things so fast. And I only got to the service maybe like 5 minutes late. You know what I mean? The service started at 11 o'clock. I think I got there at 11:05, 11:07, something like that, man. And still, the obituaries was already gone by that time. They was long gone. And if I ain't mistaken, man, they had like 2,000 copies of it. But, man, them things was gone. You dig? So that's the one thing I regret is that I didn't get a copy of his obituary. But, man, hey, that was a beautiful experience, man. And I don't know anybody that's going to be able to bring him out like K Red did, man, because he brought everybody. You know what I mean? So, long live Kenny Red, you dig? Do a push-up, sip a glass of water, and break a bitch. Long live Kenny Red the pimp. You dig? We need another music battle. Hey, Sepova the Prince, what I was kind of thinking about doing was like maybe making the music battle like a once a month thing, maybe on Sinful's channel. I was kind of thinking about that, like at the end of every month, maybe because we did it, you know, New Year's Eve, so that was like the end of last month, end of the year too. But I was thinking about making it like maybe the last Friday or the last Saturday, or probably the last Sunday. Sunday would probably be best, but the last Sunday of each month, I might do that on Sinful's channel. You dig? Because a lot of people still be wanting the music battles, so I think we might do that. Aaron Moses, good looking with the $10 holla. Can you give me some game on? Oh, excuse me. On how to make one of my fans my side piece. Huh. Are you talking about one of them hater type of fans or like a genuine fan? On how to make one of my fans my side piece. Like what to say without making her feel like a slut. She knows I have a GF and likes me a lot. Well, you know, first of all, you gotta figure out. Oh, shit. My bad, I didn't mean to do that. Pimp over here pressing buttons accidentally and shit. But you know, see when you say you don't want to make her feel like a slut, that leads me to think that maybe both of y'all already, like, she looks at herself that way to a certain extent, and you might look at her that way to a certain extent. You know, but one thing about when you instill value in people and you help people recognize value in themselves that they might not see, you know, that's how you make people feel confident about whatever it is they're getting into and secure within themselves, right? So I don't know if you plan on just, you know, that's all it is, just about fun. And it ain't nothing more to it than just some fun. You know, even if that's the case, you know, just, you know, express that to her, you know, boldly and candidly, but smoothly at the same time. You know what I mean? And, you know, just paint a beautiful picture to her about the shit and how that's going to benefit both of y'all, you know, because, you know, people don't understand that, the importance of stress relievers. And y'all just might be that and nothing else to each other. But that's crucial though. You know, y'all might be stress relievers to one another, man. You might, you know, you might, hey man, it's, hey, the power of good intimacy is beautiful, man. And it's a proven fact, you know, that people that have a good sex life tend to live longer. Right? So, yeah, man, you know, you just gotta get her to understand the value in that experience with you. You dig? Because if she's feeling like a slut, then that means that she doesn't see herself as being valuable in that situation. You know, it makes her feel less than. But, you know, and that could have something to do with something she experienced long before she even knew who you was, you know? So that might not have anything to do with you. So it's on you to reassure her that whatever point of reference is making her feel like that ain't got nothing to do with you. You did? Oh, shit. So that's how I would handle it. She tried to pretend like she didn't know when I asked her to come through. Yeah, see, all that pretending that, you know, that she didn't know, like, you know, in 2024, man, that could be a dangerous game. You know, so you want to make everything candid and clear if you gonna have them type of experiences, man, because, you know, we just in some ugly times right now. And because of that, man, you got to be careful. You dig? You definitely don't want to put that pleasure over your well-being, your freedom, or anything like that, anything of value when it comes to your life, man. You don't want to put that on the back burner for the sake of some pleasure. So, yeah, you definitely want to make everything clear, man, because, a lot of people be playing games now. They be playing some ugly games for nothing just because of how they feel, you know? So if she feeling like a sleazer already, she's already coming in, feeling less than, feeling some type of way. So, yeah, you definitely want to make things clear, man, for sure. Mike J. Womack, good looking with the $5 holla, you dig? Have you ever taken a chance on a chick who may have had an addiction, and how much of a challenge was it to get her to be clean? Nah, me myself, I haven't. Well, I've attempted. One time, I attempted to, help a chick get off drugs, and it just proved to not be worth it for me. And then other times, there's been a few times where I had somebody that I didn't realize was on drugs until later on, and then once I did, we ended up parting ways. I've experienced that too. But I do know situations of other cats who have been successful with that. I've had cats that took some chicks that had that monkey on their back, helped them get that monkey off their back and keep that monkey off their back. You know what I mean? And then it's crazy, man, because it's funny you mentioned this, right? So it's this one chick that I had that when I knocked her, she had came from a situation. She had been with this guy for, I think, 4 years. Yeah, I think she was with him for 4 years. And when he knocked her, she had got off. She was on meth. And when he knocked her, he got her to come clean off of that shit. And she stayed clean for 4 years. The whole time she was with him, right? Both he vouched for that and she vouched for that. So when I knocked her, I made the mistake, and yeah, I do have to say it was a mistake because, her family was toxic. But I made the mistake of bringing her around her family. You know what I mean? And her family was drug addicts. Her mother and her brother, they was both some heavy, deep drug addicts, right? And, the whole 4 years that she was with her ex folks, she had never been around her family. She hadn't seen her family in like almost 10 years, right? Because the cat that she was with, her turnout folks, before she got with her folks before me, she had been with him for like 5 years or something like that, or 2 years or something. But no, I think 5 years. Yeah, because altogether, yeah, she was with both of them her whole career up to me. So yeah, she hadn't seen her family in like 9 years, right? So of course, that made it much easier for the cat who she was with before me to help keep her clean, because her family was on the shit. So, I bring her around her family, and it don't take me no time to figure out that her family, her mama and her brother, is on drugs, right? But I'm thinking that because she's around me and because she been clean for all this time, that she gonna stay clean. You dig? But she got to spending a lot of time with her mother, and then eventually started spending a lot of time with her mother and her brother. And, long story short, man, she ended up, getting high with her mama one time, and then one time became every time. You dig? It started with her being around her mama getting high, but she wasn't getting high. But, for somebody who was an addict before, if you around somebody that's getting high all the time, eventually you're going to be tempted to try that shit. So that's what it was, man. She had been around her mama for like a week. And then and her mama was getting high in front of her every day. And then finally one time, man, she told her mama to pass her the shit, you know what I mean? And her mama did. And, it went all bad from there, so I learned from that experience. One, if you got somebody that been clean for years, man, even if it's their family, man, you know, uh, sometimes it might not be best for you to put them around their family. And then two, the bigger lesson that I learned, man, is that I just don't want nobody that, because I've never had a drug problem. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to deal with nobody who's ever had that problem. I want to deal with somebody who truly understands how to love and appreciate themselves, right? And don't have no temptation to, damage themselves and hate themselves. That's just me. I don't want anybody to come from that world at all, even if they've been clean 5 years, 10 years, however long they've been clean. That's just me. I don't want to deal with nobody with them problems. You dig? Because it's just disgusting, man. And, they need some type of help that I don't, I'm not going to give them. They not going the type of help they need to get, they not going to get it from me. So, yeah, that's my experience when it comes to that type of shit, man. I just, because of where I want to go in life and the things that I want to do, I need people around me that's going to be strong and, that hasn't created those type of, obstacles to have to overcome every day in their life. You know what I mean? Because that's something that you create for yourself. You dig? And, I don't have that obstacle to have to overcome. So, I wouldn't expect nobody to want to deal with me if I had to deal with that shit every day. You know what I mean? Now, if it was two people, like if I came from that world, and I get somebody like that, like with that chick I'm talking about, right? If me and her had a similar experience, like, I used to be on drugs, but I've been clean for so many years, and then she been clean for so many years, I would understand things better from her perspective. So therefore I'd probably be able to deal with her better. And if I had that experience behind me, then I probably would have never brought her around her family knowing that they own the shit, So, yeah, that's just me though. I don't want nothing to do with none of that shit. I don't want nobody, even if, like I said, I just want somebody who ain't never had them problems. Cause I ain't gonna introduce them to them problems. And that's what be happening with a lot of these chicks, man. It's unfortunate. Like I said, back to the love and the game thing, man. A lot of chicks got introduced to shit through somebody that they called or considered themselves to be some pimping. You know what I mean? I done seen guys who knocked a fresh chick, man, who ain't never done a drug, ain't never even seen a drug or been around a drug ever in her life. Man, it's this one cat, man, he got a baby mama. And his baby mama Native American, man. And she had never drank before, had never smoked a cigarette before, had never done no drugs before. But once she got with him, she became an alcoholic, a powderhead, and done tried every drug under the sun. You know what I mean? But he introduced her to the alcohol, introduced her to the cigarettes, introduced her to the powder, and then, all kind of other shit she, done tried with tricks and all type of shit, man. Beautiful girl too, man. This chick was beautiful. Gorgeous. But, I hate the fact on behalf of the pimping, that she experienced that type of shit, man, because, ain't nobody that's supposed to be some pimping ever supposed to do. Man, he didn't, and I don't even want to talk about some of the other shit he didn't had this chick doing, man. But yeah, you got guys like that in the game too, man. Misery love company. But that ain't what the game supposed to be about. You dig? I told her I've been with my girl for 3 years. That sounds like a girl with a lot going on. Laugh out loud, Car King said. Because now you got to wonder why she's at her ex still. Oh, shit, I didn't read that part. Oh, she stays with her ex and always complains about his ass. And I told her, I'm gonna help her start working out and smoking weed. She's from Long Beach. Oh, she from my city. Okay. Well, where was that read? One comment I seen. She likes me. Laugh out loud. I'm 32. I know what it is. She really does like me. Been following me and reposting me since 2019. My fee is sharing my content, or $70 an hour. She's not getting into details or getting the specific directions I charge for. My girl is dramatic and not peaceful. I love her, but she's acting weird and crazier than too crazy MFers. Laugh out loud. That's funny. Aaron Moses, exactly. She ain't campaigning for your program nor your instruction before, brother. She just a bird watcher and ain't about the game. Lazy people watch advice. Damn, I hate the way this shit is set up. Lazy people watch advice and not take action. Let her choose. In the words of Sinful to P, featuring Sepulveda, the song, "Never thought y'all was the pimpin'." Oh, shit. Funny shit. As Sin would say, you got to replenish her. I ain't gonna say you got a pimp on your girlfriend. Laugh out loud. But you're gonna have to use some game to get her right again. I know you've been with her for 3 years, man, so I can imagine, it can't all just be downs. There got to be some ups too. But what I've learned from experience, man, that some people just ain't meant to be happy, and you can't grow something from a seed that ain't there. And for somebody to be happy, for you to add to somebody's happiness, for you to amplify somebody's happiness, they had to have had a seed of happiness to begin with. But if it ain't no seed there planted by themselves, then hey, man, you're gonna be involved in a futile endeavor. For real. Divine, you stupid prince. Not never. Never thought y'all was the pimpin'. Yeah, that was my thumbnail work, by the way, on that video too. The Never Thought Y'all Was the Pimpin' live, man. Freeze did the thumbnail on that one, man. Most of them classic thumbnails that you seen from Sinful, that was me. I think he did a few cool thumbnails himself, but most of the classic hilarious thumbnails that y'all see, that was me. You dig? And it's funny how we work together. I think I told y'all that before, but man, Sinful, he used to always tell me, he'd be like, bro, man, we like the Eric B and Rakim are roasting, man. You Eric B and I'm Rakim. He was like, can't nobody mess with us when it comes to this roasting, man. Cause he called me Eric B because I always come with the cold thumbnails, and then it's like when a producer make a beat and the rapper hear the beat, he get on fire, and then he just start going in, you know what I mean? So that's how he seen them thumbnails. He be like, man, when I see them thumbnails, I get fired up. Oh man, so yeah, that was one of them ones, man. Never Thought Y'all Was the Pimpin'. That was one of my favorite thumbnails too. But I don't know, man. I done came with some cold thumbnails, but that Flacco one, boy. Oh man, hey, that Flacco thumbnail, boy, I did my shit on that one. And it was a couple of Flacco thumbnails I did that never made it. That didn't make the cut. That was one of the funniest ones. But I got some other Flacco thumbnails I did that was classic, man. Oh shit, that Flacco thumbnail was funny as hell. Damn. Shout out to Freeze Cold Photo Edits. Divine for real. Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ray. Like Aaron said, I'm the one who was making Sin's thumbnails. That's why you say we got similar styles, because that that was me. Yeah, that was me making his thumbnails for sure. And it's messed up he ain't here no more, man, because I done got even colder with the thumbnails, man. So boy, the roasters that he would be coming with now, boy, with my skills getting better like they have with the thumbnails, man. I always been cool with the thumbnails, man, but yeah, I must say I done got a little better since then, man. So that sound whack 100 thumbnail still hilarious. See, I think he might have did that himself. I think he did that himself. That Hassan Whack 100. Is that the one where Whack 100 had on the police uniform? I think that's the one you talking about. Joe Blast say, "How can a guy get over childhood emasculation to build his manhood?" Well, Joe Blast, see, this is one thing, and that's not something that's easy, right? But you got to make up your mind first of all that it's doable. And see, what you have to understand too is that you were a child. A child that went through that they was a child at the time, right? So it's not something that you necessarily had control over as a child, because you know as a child, this is a child who didn't know any better, and an older person who took advantage of that, right? So it's not by any doing of your own, right? A child who went through something like that. Now, uh, what you have to keep reminding yourself of is, you know, everything else that factors into who and what you are, all the good that factors into who and what you are, right? And what you mean to people. And that doesn't factor into what you mean to people, how people value you, how people love you, right? That doesn't that doesn't that doesn't take away from what you mean to people. And see, that's what's easy for a lot of us, even people who haven't had that same experience but might have had other different tragic experiences in their life, right? Um, it's easy to lose sight of what you mean to people. But when you know that you're important to people and you mean something to people, then that helps to inspire you and motivate you in a different way. You know, uh, you always got to remind yourself of that, man. You always got to remind yourself of what you mean to people, and then that'll help you get better in tune with what you mean to yourself. It'll help you get better in tune with your own value, the value that you have for yourself, the self-esteem that you have for yourself, right? Understanding your importance, because that doesn't make you any less important. You dig? And I know another thing that might make it difficult to keep the right things in perspective sometimes is what other people might have to say about you. You know, but you got to keep in mind that what somebody else, like Sinful to Peace say, what somebody else's opinion don't have dominion on your life or anything to do with it, right? So you just got to get in tune with yourself, man, and get in tune with the Most High as well, you know, because being in tune spiritually is going to help you stay in tune with your value of yourself and what you mean to other people, what you mean to the Most High. You know what I mean? And another thing that'll help you too, speaking of the Most High, is allowing yourself to be a vessel. You know what I mean? Because when you allow yourself to be a vessel, another thing that'll help you with that is helping other people that go through that type of experience. You know what I mean? There might be intervention classes or, counseling opportunities or things like that where you can go and speak to people younger than yourself, you know, who might even still be kids that have had that experience. You know what I mean? And, you know, like I said, allow the Most High to use you in that way, you know, that'll help you get in tune and with your value. You know what I mean? And, you know, it'll make you feel good about yourself knowing that you helped somebody else who's gone through your same experience. You know what I mean? And because you've been through it and you might be older than them, you can help them because you can see things from a different perspective. You dig? So that's what I would do if I was you, man. That right there is a big one. You know, helping others who've been through that same experience, you know, to help them, you know, not, you know, because that shit can be real heavy, man. You know, and the fact that you are still able to talk about it, you know what I mean? Just the fact that you was even bold enough to share that on here, man, you know, that's big. Because you don't know how many people bury that shit so deep that they try to pretend like the shit never happened, and they like to try to forget about it and things like that. But it's like a cancer in their body. You know, it's still affecting them in so many aspects of their life, but they don't want to address it. They don't want to face it, not knowing that if they face it and address it, they can conquer it and suppress it, you know what I mean, and kill it. You dig? But the fact that you could be open about it, man, is major. It's big. That's what you gotta understand, man. And you know, like Aaron Moses is saying, you know, it's a lot of stuff from Dre, man. It's a lot of value that you can gain from listening to and watching Dre. And maybe even doing a consultation with Dre if he has availability. You know what I mean? But but yeah, that's what I would do, man. For real. But I remember that Future thumbnail edit. Watched that 2 days ago. Yeah. Showing love and being real and open. That's P. Yeah, for real, man. You know, well, like I said, man, one of the biggest things you could do is just get in tune spiritually, man. You know, because the power of God, man. You know, God will make things happen in your life that you never thought possible, man. Right, like Tyler said, Gorgeous Dre having a meeting in ATL this March. If anyone is interested, I plan on going. Yeah, man, I plan on being there too. That's gonna be big, man. That's gonna be a beautiful experience there. Oh, Joe Blast all the time, man. All the time, man. Much respect to you as well. Is the Most High the master of the game? The Most High is bigger than the game. The Most High is everything. You dig? So, if the Most High is bigger than the game, then it's not even a question about him being the master of the game. The Most High is the creator. Did you hear about the bottled? Are you saying war? Bottled water industry being plagued with water. Bottled water industry being plagued with nanoplastics. What we gonna do? Nah, I haven't peeped that lead chlorine fluoride laced antidepressant Latin tap water ain't gonna cut it for me. P. Yeah, I know some places people's tap water is better than others. Just like some places people's tap water is horrible. I know. I want to say Oregon has really good tap water if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure some other places do too. But I don't drink tap water anyway, so I know Arizona got some probably the worst tap water, and just running water. Period, man. Arizona water is bad on your skin, bad on your hair. That's the one thing I don't like about AZ. Right, like Bill say, the Most High is the master of all, the source of all creation, the master himself. Indeed. Yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up in a few minutes. We're going to chop it up for a few more minutes, man. If y'all ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button while I put some more love in my body. Freeze, you ever presided over Ethiopian women or other ladies from the motherland? Uh, Not Ethiopian, but I've had a Somali girl before. Uh, but she ended up being an alcoholic, man. Beautiful young lady too. It was unfortunate that she had that alcoholism monkey on her back that she couldn't shake. And then long after I didn't have her no more, man, I seen her and she had some other monkeys on her back it was worse than alcohol. It wasn't cool. Great blast, good looking with the $5 holla. Positive truth over fake love from the game here. Freeze indeed, man. Appreciate you. What's your passion in life, Freeze? My passion in life is to make everybody within my reach better, to add value to everybody within my reach. That's my passion in life. You know, people in my immediate circle, you know, friends, family, loved ones, and then, you know, everybody who tunes in, all of y'all. You dig? Everybody within my reach, man, to add some sort of value to their life. That's my passion in life. You dig? Because I believe that's what my purpose is. I believe my purpose is to add value to people, everybody within my reach. I think that's the best thing I can do for people. So that's what my passion is. Jolene, good looking with the $5 holla. Will you still make a video of your times in on the city bus? That story about the Mexican with the knife was crazy. Yeah. You know what, Joe, I'm gonna have to do that real soon, man. Yeah, that'll be yeah. Yeah, if I think about all my crazy times, like between the city bus, the train, yeah. I got some cold stories. For sure. Freeze, you ever had to catch a fade with someone in the game because they was bad mouthing you? Funny you should ask that, Tyler. Yeah. You know, I know I done touched on that story a little bit, but I probably didn't go too in depth with it. But when I was in Hawaii, I had a situation where it was these two guys that I was looking out for. That's the cold part about it. I was looking out for these two guys, man. I was being a blessing to both of them. And they both was dirty macking me to two, like one, I was 3 deep at the time. One of them was, well, no, I was 2 deep, about to be 3 deep. But, okay, so I was 2 deep. One of the ones that I had already, this one cat was dirty macking me to her. And then the other cat was dirty macking me to this chick that I was in the process of knocking, who I did end up knocking. But in the process of me knocking her, the other cat who I was looking out for, you know, he was dirty macking me to her. Now, the first cat, I got to rephrase it. The first cat who dirty macked me to the broad that I had currently at that time, I was taking care of him. Because it's a difference between looking out for somebody or helping somebody and taking care of somebody. The first cat who dirty macked me to the chick that I had at that time, I was taking care of him. Like, feeding him, clothing him, housing him, paying for hotel rooms. That's how old this is. This is when I still was drinking. So, you know that was a very long time ago. But whenever we go to the bar, I'm buying his drinks. This is a guy who I was doing that for. And even flew him to Hawaii, because he was in Cleveland in the snow, messed up, some more shit. But in spite of me doing all that, he dirty macked me to the chick that I had at the time. And then the other guy, I wasn't necessarily, I guess you damn near could say I was taking care of him too, but I helped put him in position to take care of himself. You dig? He just needed a major boost, and I gave him that major boost. But he was dirty macking me to a chick that I was in the process of knocking at the time. So I ended up getting into it with both of these guys. But that's a whole long story. But to answer your question, yeah, I ended up getting into it with both of them physically, and it was because they was dirty macking me. Because I was raised in the game under the ideology that either you gonna mess with me or you gonna mess with the broad, but you ain't gonna try to mess with both of us at the same time. Meaning, if I'm feeding you and taking care of you, you messing with me. So if I'm doing that for you, then you don't get at my broad. Now I can see if we just cool, we see each other down, oh, what's up, P? We chop it up, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not looking out for you and you not looking out for me. We ain't broke bread together. We just real cool when we see each other. You could have at the broad and you could sweat her in front of me. Matter of fact, that's what so the first dude who I'm talking about, I'm gonna go live about this on another occasion, but I'll just say this part real quick. The dude who I was taking care of, he sweated my broad in front of me because he didn't know she was my broad. That's how he found out that she was my broad. Because we sitting there on the track chopping it up. She comes walking past us. And he didn't know she was my broad. But as she was walking past us, he get on her heels. And as he's on her heels, she starts smiling. Right? So, she knew better than, first of all, to even be on our side of the street walking past us. But not only that, but when he got on her heels, she started smiling. So when she get a little bit down the street, I step probably about 10 feet away from him, and I get on the phone with her. I say, yeah, I see you over here laughing at what the pimpin' got to say. Is it something that you like about him? Because I can line it up right now. No, Daddy, I was just, I was smiling because I seen you. And I said, okay, well, you don't need to be smiling while pimping is on your heels, you know what I mean? Because pimping gonna see that as a form of acknowledgement, and acknowledgement is encouragement. So it looked to me like you was encouraging him to, to have at you. No, woody woo. Okay, well, don't do that again. So when I get off the phone with her, he put it together that was my broad. I wasn't trying to indicate to him that was my broad, but he put it together based on what he's saying. He like, oh, Pete, my bad. I didn't know that was your game. I said, nah, you did what you were supposed to do. You know what I mean? You did your job. So, I ain't tripping. So once he found out that was my broad, then he started dirty macking me to her. You know what I mean? He started saying a whole bunch of foul, it just wasn't cool. And this is somebody who I was looking out for, who I done been in multiple cities and states, cross country with over the years, that was doing that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that led to a physical altercation. Lojo, good looking with the $2 holla. Freeze was blessing a lot of people with flights. Yeah, back at that time, that's when I had that going on, Lojo. The flights in the rooms and shit. I was being a blessing to a whole lot of people. Many of them I shouldn't have been a blessing to because, they was ungrateful. But hey, it is what it is. It's water under the bridge at this point. Helping people get to funerals and rooms, trying to live like P. Diddy off of Freeze facts. For sure. Yeah, but that's what I did with that. I wasn't trying to come up off of that or, make a living off of that. I used that to be, that was some game that, speaking of Africans, you know what I mean? One of my African partners gave me that game when I was leaking. And, I use it to be a blessing to people in the game. For sure, for sure. Money Counter Scud say, I just got hip to sin a little over a year ago, so I haven't seen it all. But that Pyru Pippin got to be a classic in his catalog. Shit had me on life support. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro got plenty of classics, man. You gotta go digging in the crates for sure. He got plenty of classics for you though. And then you gotta go to his other channels too, because he got classics on some of his other channels that a lot of people ain't familiar with. So, if you go to his so he has Sinful the P presiding over rebuking service. That's a roast channel. He got classic roastings on there. He also has, matter of fact, I'm going to just type them in the chat. I'm going to type his other channels real quick. P presiding over rebuking service. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, so those are some of like his other channels. Now the Rebuking Service channel, I have control of that channel, but the Museum of Game and Sinful to P Instagram live videos I don't have control over, and then this other channel is got some good stuff on it too. Let me write that in there. Sinful to P and the family, that's where, a lot of the people that's in this chat have content on that channel. That was the channel where, Sinful to P was providing a platform for, his YouTube family to display their many gifts and talents. So yeah, it's a lot of good content on that Sinful to P and the family channel as well. But those channels, unfortunately, I haven't gotten control of yet, but hopefully I will. That's the endeavor, you dig? Eat books, good looking with the $1 holla, you dig? Sir Charles say the BOA one, or the boy who constantly saying Von killed Kennedy, classic shit. Yeah, man. Hey, man, the Charleston White roasting is classic. The ones you just named, classic. When he roasted he called dude Mother Lee, but I think his name is Robert Lee or something like that, but he called him Mother Lee. That shit is man, classic. Hey, that presiding over Rebuking Service boy got some classics. And then the Museum of Game, that one has mostly Sunday services. I think that's the main channel where he was doing his Sunday services on, was the Museum of Game. So if you want to get some spiritual inspiration, man, that Museum of Game is great because, like I said, he got a lot of Sunday services on that channel. So that channel is dope for that. Yeah, so Chandra the fly fit chick says, I was just watching a Moise Watkins one yesterday. Yeah, that Moise Watkins. Oh, boys. Hey, man, I don't know. It's hard to say. Hey, but see, a lot of people ain't seen that. I'm just keeping it funky. Matter of fact, I got to put that on his. I don't know. Maybe Lojo is the I'm just keeping it funky. Is that still on Sinful's Patreon? I haven't looked to see, but if it ain't, I gotta put it up there, man, cause that I'm just keeping it funky, boy. Ray Blast say freeze. Is Sinful's Patreon still accepting payments for the content on there? Yeah, you can still subscribe to his Patreon, and I've been putting new content up there lately, so yeah, you can subscribe to the Patreon for sure. But I'm trying to remember, man, if the I'm just keeping it funky in the P File Hustle. The P File Hustle, that shit is, both of them is classic Hassan roastings, but man, It's here on YouTube, but unlisted. Look up the playlist. Yeah, see, it might be unlisted because it's blocked. You know, when it have a, cause I didn't make it unlisted. You know, when a video has a copyright restriction on it, a copyright claim, a lot of times when they have too many copyright claims, they'll block it in like 1,000 countries or some shit like that. And you know, that's probably why it's unlisted and why you can only see it on the playlist. Now freeze, even though it's not roast, I never thought y'all was the pimpin'. That shit had me crying and motivated at the same time. For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put I'm just keeping it funky. I'm gonna have to put that on Patreon for sure. Man, that shit is so stupid. I'm just keeping it funky, boy. Man, talk about classic. Yeah, I'm just keeping it funky. It's definitely in my top 5 for sure. Yeah, Freeze, Hassan Campbell is on the Patreon, but on the $50 tier, I believe. Okay, cool. Okay, it's still there then. Okay. Yeah, just to bless everybody, man. If it's on the $50, I might have to change it to the so everybody on this Patreon could see it, cause yeah, Lojo, if you got the link, you could post it. Yeah, that shit's stupid. The Battle of the Husbands was funny too. Yeah, man, bro got so many classics. Yeah, that Battle of the Husbands, that shit was stupid too. Not without stealing. Hey, Shaw. Hey, Shaw. Oh, man, bro is retarded, man. God damn. Oh, shit, that Battle of the Husbands was stupid. Oh, my goodness. Aaron Moses. Good looking with the $2 holler. Do you think Boosie is a snitch? I've been hearing people say that, but I haven't, I ain't looked into the situation. So I can't really say, but I don't know, man. What I will say is a lot of people get put in situations, man, where they just do, certain things under pressure, man. Shout out to Bobby Smurda. And shout out to Rowdy Rebel, man. I admire them dudes because they kept it solid, man. Yeah, and I like how Bobby did more time than he had to for the sake of his partner doing less time. That type of solidarity, among our people, you don't really see that too much no more, man. It was more common once upon a time, but yeah, I admire them dudes. Plus the reception video. I ain't hip to that one, supposedly. Aaron Moses says it's on the $5 tier. Oh, okay, cool. Sin will compare rappers to WWE wrestlers playing gimmicks. Yeah, a lot of them is. A lot of rappers is like a lot of that rap shit is. I mean, just the whole rap game. A lot of it is like WWE. Bobby Suss is F, but they did keep it solid. His best one was the Tasha K TLA Rose laugh, in my opinion. Yeah, bro got so many classics, man. Like that shit crazy. His prison stories with Pretty Ricky was gold. Yeah. When he called her James Baldwin, it changed my view of her forever. Yeah, that shit was stupid. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. You can't unsee that shit, man. Like once he called her James Baldwin, it's like, damn. She do look like all these other people. Like she looked like Shabba Ranks. You know, she looked like she looked like a whole bunch of she looked like a whole bunch of guys, man. But yeah, that James Baldwin, man, it's gonna be tough to beat that comparison, man. She dead on with James Baldwin. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh, he did a reception for oh okay. Oh, okay, that was the part two. Yeah, you know what? I remember when he did the part two. I just didn't know it was called the reception. Yeah. But I didn't watch part two though. I watched part one though. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. Let me put some love in my body before we get up out of here, man. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please wipe your feet off on the way out. As always, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in with a pimp. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for all your comments, questions, jokes, input, good feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate you for all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Let me see real quick. Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.